Well, how do you check out somebody that you're dealing with on the internet? Well, if it's a business, you could go to the Better Business Bureau and see their complaints and things like that. Or if they're on Yelp, and that's for a business also. Or if they're selling something on eBay, how people give everybody ratings. So, that's sort of a neat way that everybody's rating everybody else. But what about the other people? That you're going to buy something, from not one of these big fancy sites, or you have to deal with somebody, and you're only known through the internet, or there's other ways in the shared economy. You're going to let somebody use your house or your car or something. So how do you find out what kind of person this is? Well, there's an answer, and it's short of doing, a Google search on somebody and coming up with millions of websites that you don't even know what the heck they are, whatever, or hiring a private eye. You go to something new now called Trustcloud.com. And these guys have just started out. Well, they got thousands and thousands and thousands of people already. And actually, you can go in there yourself and sign up for free and see what you look like. What is your trust rating on the internet? Because it searches and it has all these things to find out how trustful you are, and it gives you a rating, and then you can work on that rating you want, or you just take it off. It's all for free. So it doesn't matter, and it may be interesting to see. But here is a good way that people are going to be able to verify how good they are for them to deal with you on the internet. And it's free to you. So what the heck? It's a great idea. So we don't have to have regulations and certificates and all this kind of stuff that's going to cost you money. It won't. And this is a way, to work on your standing in the internet. In a way, if there's bad stuff written on, so you get a good rating here, and you don't have to worry about that one bad thing, that people are you've been trying to get off the internet for the last 10 years or whatever it is. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So look at this interview. This is the guy who started this company, and things like this are going to take off, because this is what it's about. It's going to be more peer-to-peer. It's more people doing things for other people, because we don't need a big, corporation to go through anymore to get things done. And so, but we have to know the trust of all these people. So it's services like this that are really going to take off. And it's good for you to be involved in them, just to see what you look like, see what other people think you look like anyway. So take a look at this interview. Well, Miles Spencer, man, I think you have probably one of the neatest websites for the new economy, where people are sharing everything and not spending a lot of money buying stuff they don't need. And it's called Trustcloud.com, where now if I'm sharing with somebody, you're going to figure out that these people are okay because they signed up to your website and it costs nothing to sign up, right?
Well, yes, indeed. It does cost nothing. Thank you, Matthew. Trustcloud.com actually looked for a way to help people in the sharing economy. And what we're talking about is the old classified ads, if you will, where people are borrowing cars and crashing on couches and babysitting and dog walking. And now, just before you do a transaction like that, you wonder who is on the other side. And TrustCloud provides a score that gives an indication of someone's trustworthiness based on all of their online behavior.
Wow. So in other words, you go online and, with the person's name, able to find out where they've been, how long they've been, how trustworthy they look, whether it's LinkedIn, Google, all these sites online, and build up like a credit score, but it's really your trust score, right?
It is based on the 800 scale of credit. We thought that people would understand that. And it's entirely opt-in, Matthew. So if you don't want to trust cloud score, you don't have to have one. And if you don't want to have your Facebook or your LinkedIn or your Stack Overflow or your Yelp or your TripAdvisor as part of your score, you don't have to have that. Having said that, our product visionary, Shin Chung, my co-founder, it comes from the games industry, Xbox and Microsoft, and he put together this score based on something that people would want to compete to maximize their score. And the best way to maximize your score after signing up is to bring in as many networks as possible so that we can pull that data and allow that to create your score. So nothing is done without your consent. Having said that, the best way to get a good score is to be transparent and be a good guy.
So in other words, if I'm going to through one of these shared economy websites, I rent an apartment somewhere in Tampa for the winter, that if I'm on this site, then they have a way to see who I am, how good I am, and I have a way to see how good they are, right? And it works two ways.
Exactly. So one of our partners, tripping.com, it actually does travel. It's rideshare and also apartments. And they are a network that uses TrustCloud to inform both the owner of the apartment and the prospective renter of the apartment exactly what the background of the person is on the other side of the transaction. Now, 99 times out of 100, there's nothing to worry about. But that one time can really create significant damage to an asset. And God forbid, it can also create significant damage to a person if it's babysitting, tutoring, dog walking, etc. So that's why we felt creating a trust cloud, trust score.
So this is, I mean, if I'm a freelance whatever at home, it would behoove me to join TrustCloud. Because number one, it's free, and it goes and gives me a trust rating. And if I don't like it, I can just take it off your site, right? But then I could advertise it to potential clients. Hey, I'm a good guy. You don't have to go search the internet for how good or bad I may be. Here, TrustCloud has done all that, and here's my rating. Take a look.
Two of the most popular places to place a TrustCloud card is on a blog, where you're writing about yourself, you're writing about your domain expertise, or in the signature file of your email. So, we get in excess of 1 million API hits per week from people that are actually just displaying this on their blogs and in their signature file. Hey, look, if you want to know everything about me, start here. And you can drill down on all of the different networks within my TrustCloud.
So even if I'm not marketing something, so I could see it'd be great if I'm marketing or trying to prove to somebody else if I want to borrow their lawnmower or something like that. But it also seems that just me, I'm worried about what people say about me on the internet. I don't even know. And we have these other websites charge a lot of money to protect your reputation online. And your service, I just go online, put my name, and you find out how good I am or not, and I make my judgment call after that, and it costs me nothing.
Well, yes, it does cost you nothing as a consumer, right? We make our money through the networks that actually use the sharing economy to provide rides and dog walking and babysitting, etc. So those are our customers. Individual consumers get it for free. Yes, there are great sites out there that manage your reputation, that manage your influence, that manage your identity itself. But what TrustCloud's point of view was, just like that FICO-based 800 score, there should be one place that you can pull in all your data, and you can use it in each individual sharing economy transaction. So, if you rented an apartment last week in Tampa, and you were a bad boy, messed the place up. If you then went to Chicago and went to borrow a car, the second site would not know about your behavior from the first site, right? So portable trust is a very important concept to us, and each one of these individual networks can never create the data that's needed to have a full look of how you're behaving across the entire community, and that's what TrustCloud is for.
But it also seems like something, if I'm going to deal with somebody, I mean, it seems like, hey, I don't want to spend half a day on the internet looking about you. Do you have a trust card thing? And if they say no, you say, hey, it's free, and then you just ask them about that, and then it behooves them to join TrustCloud just to give it to you because they want to do business with you.
Oh, exactly. Here's mine. Where's yours?
Exactly. Right.
That's exactly that type of dynamic where if one side of the transaction has one, naturally they would be inclined to ask the other side, about this. And you bring up something very good. There's nothing in TrustCloud that one couldn't find oneself by slavishly searching through the internet. And if that's how one wants to spend one's time, okay. But these devices are powering our world. And we only have snatches of time to make a decision about a babysitter, lending a car, crashing at someone's house, hiring a tutor. And as our thumb is hovering over that select now button, how much do you really know about the other side of the transaction?
Right.
Well, with Trust Cloud, you get it all in a bundle and a score. If you want to drill down from there, you can drill down from there. But the reality is, people want to see what the score is.
And this, I would think, is becoming much more important because of our society. I mean, now, man, I deal with people overseas as much as I do here, and I never even meet them. It's not like going to the diner every day and dealing with Joe, who I've known my whole life.
The diner has become an international smorgasbord,
Right.
And that is the internet, and the internet has been on steroids since the advent of the iPhone and the tablet. And so again, we're making decisions with our thumbs, and we are only have snatches of time before the train gets here, before I get my cup of coffee, at the stoplight, which is something that I actually particularly don't like, people that pick up their phones at the stoplight and sharing transactions.
Right.
The reality is very small snatches of time, very small devices. You need a compressed summary of what the other side of the transaction looks like.
And you got it there, trustcloud.com, and that's really for anybody who really wants to know what they look like, how good they look like on the web, and it costs you nothing, and really for people who want to get more interested now in this shared economy. You don't have to pay full price for stuff you're going to use just one day a year or something like that. And the shared economy has really solved a lot of that problems, and it's going to grow, and Trust Cloud's going to grow with it or ahead of it or whatever. Well, thank you so much. It's great talking with you.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. Thanks for having me. I'm really a big fan.
Trustcloud.com, right? It's easy to remember. Take care.